Hello YouTube, this is Frugal and this is the Frooglesim news for today, Sunday, March the 26th. First up, X-Plane news with the Aerobars Pipistrel Panthera, an aircraft that I missed on release, and a few people have pointed it out to me and pointed it out with glowing reviews. So here it is. The video you're watching is from Thomas Rasmussen. It is linked in the show notes below. Please do take a look at his video, give him a like and a subscribe. Now, the Aerobars Pipistrel Panthera is claimed to be the most realistic GA aircraft available for X-Plane today. It's also the first to feature a realistic GTN 750 and GTN 650, both incidentally with scroll wheel support and simulated touchscreen. They can even import and export flight plans. They also support interactive checklists and have full support for Pilot Edge comms, which is a first. The aircraft itself features ultra high-def 4K textures, an accurate flight model, which again, people who are recommending this to me have claimed is absolutely beautiful and brilliant. It has full and built-in configuration tools and also has a number of special effects built in, including rain, graphic and sound special effects. It has a custom sound set, of course, and includes full documentation for both the GTN units, the Dynon Sky View that is included, the aircraft itself, as well as a tutorial on how to use the flight planner. Technically, this is version 3 of the aircraft. Owners of the previous Aerobars Pipistrel Panthera can get $10 off this new one. Other than that, though, the price is $34.95 from the Xplane.org store, linked in the show notes below. Next up, the Rotax MD80 version 1.3, and again the video you're watching is from Thomas Rasmussen and linked in the show notes below. Now, I don't normally cover updates unless they are significant, and this one is. I covered the release version of this aircraft, and I got a senior captain who's a friend of mine with thousands of hours in the airframe to take a look, and we came away not impressed with the MD80, and certainly didn't think that it lived up to the claims Rotax made at release about it being the most realistic MD80 ever created. Rotax actually reached out to me recently to beta test this update, and I have to apologize for not taking them up on their offer due to my schedule. The 1.3 update is designed to address a number of concerns with the original aircraft, including pretty much every single point we made in that video. Now, I have taken a look and they have done a fantastic job. The CDU and the FMC are now fully functional, the sound set has been reworked, every switch in the cockpit is now fully animated, the fuel pump logic and hydraulic systems have both been overhauled, all the overhead systems now work, and much, much more. It also now has beta support for X-Plane 11. The update is of course free for existing Rotax MD80 owners, but if you don't have it already, the price is $59.95 from the Xplane.org store, and yes, I will try to get some time to make a full video on this update. Sticking with X-Plane, the Carenado Phenom for X-Plane has been released. Carenado's Phenom, something of a fan favorite for FSX and Prepared, is now available on X-Plane 10 and X-Plane 11. It features the G1000 Prodigy cockpit system, including the Phenom's custom status messages and CAS messages. Original and new Phenom systems are modeled, and it comes with a complete advanced oral system sim. Not entirely sure what that means, but I think it's something to do with the sound set. The G1000 PFD and MFD also support most of the actual modes of the original equipment, and the aircraft also features dynamic reflections and PBR materials for realistic appearance in X-Plane 11. Also comes with 4K high-def textures. High-quality sounds are included, recorded from the real aircraft, and Carenado claim it also has a realistic flight model. The price, $37.95. More information at the carenado.com link in the show notes below. Next up, moving over to FSX and Prepared, Golden Age Simulations Ryan B5 has released. Again, this is an aircraft that I previously missed, thanks for whoever pointed it out to me. The Ryan B5 is a single-engine 6-seat aircraft from Ryan Aeronautical. The B5 was actually the most widely flown version from them. Golden Age Simulations version includes the land, ski and float configurations, as well as a config tool to fly the aircraft loaded with cargo or passengers or solo. It features 2K textures, fully animated cockpit with shadowing, volumetric prop textures, accurate flight dynamics, a fully animated pilot, and supports all versions of FSX and Prepared. The prices are pretty reasonable, $24.95 from Golden Age Simulations website, linked in the show notes below. Next up, Aeroplane Heaven this week announced their new C46. Now, the Curtiss C46 Commando transport aircraft was used as a military transport in World War II. It served a similar role to the perhaps more well-known C-47 Skytrain. It was the second largest and one of the heaviest dual-engine aircraft to enter combat service in World War II, and after the war, a surplus of these made it very popular when it was converted for use as a passenger airliner. It actually continued to serve in the US Air Force until 1968. No information yet on a release date or a price. As always with Aeroplane Heaven, expect it to look like a work of art and be very accessible for novice pilots. More information at the Aeroplane Heaven Facebook link in the show notes below. Finally, Sim Conn this week announced that they landed a new presenter, that being Lockheed Martin. Now, Sim Conn is taking place June 10th and 11th at the Sheraton Hotel at Bradley Airport, and this week they announced that Lockheed Martin will be presenting at the event for the first time ever. Previous announcements also include Laminar and Dovetail, so this is really shaping up to be an awesome event that, regrettably, as I said last week, I won't be able to attend. Head on over to flightsimcon.com for more information and to get your tickets, and if you are going, have a fantastic time. That's it for this week's show. As always, if I missed something, do leave me a comment in the show notes below. I'll take a look and see if it's worth including in next week's show. Until then, though, my name is Frugal. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.